I believe when you're running 40 plus appointments of anything, life insurance, final expense, Medicare, you need to pick carriers that are streamlined, that have clear black and white underwriting, and do not require an inordinate amount of time to get processed. So let me give you some examples of what I mean. I believe you really need to be on preferably instant decision e-apps. We have enough really good carriers out there. Royal Neighbors, Prosperity, American Amicable. Help me out. Who else? Americo Eagle for you guys that like to write that product. And many others. Oxford. American General, guaranteed issue, so instant decision, right? All of these companies have e-apps with instant decisions that let you know immediately after submitting if they've been approved, okay? And what does this do? Well, here's the thing. Imagine running 40 appointments a week if you're not already. What if you're writing our favorite company, Trans Amendment, and you get amendments? And you write 15 deals that week, and 5 of them have amendments. Guess what you're going to be doing? Not running 40 appointments. You're going to be chasing down 5 people, whatever that ratio is, and you're lucky to possibly even get half of them to sign off on it, because these people just mysteriously disappear. It's like the rapture, okay? Just avoid that completely. Don't even mess with carriers that don't have instant decisions and don't have an e-app, because it will bog your time down. You are against the clock. You're racing against the clock. And you cannot use carriers that are going to befuddle this process, okay? So I would recommend using one or all those carriers as primary carriers. Do not use carriers that require any kind of, if they require an e-app and then a phone interview, I wouldn't preferentially lead with that. I can think of a few off the top of my head. If they require a paper app and then a phone interview, I wouldn't always lead with that one. I might use it for niche situations. But I want to be in. I want to close the deal. I want to get the thing issued. If it's possible, get a decision. Get out the door and go to the next appointment. Hey, look, if it gets declined or rated up, boom, I'll pivot to another carrier. See who I can get. I believe you can shorten your time dramatically and also save the most policies when you do your setup in this arrangement, okay? Very, very important. There are the occasions where you will run into a situation where you have to use a carrier that doesn't give an instant decision. Or let's say you submit it in and it's contingent upon review. What do? Do you leave at this point, never to come back? No. You always go with a plan B. Let me give you a perfect example, and I see some... Thank you, Jen. I see some questions in the chat, and I'll answer them in a second. So I field trained a guy a couple of months ago, and we ran a guy, I think I mentioned this here, I had a guy who had his larynx removed. He had a hole in his throat, right? So he had to put this thing up, and he sounded like a robot. He apparently was well aware of the appointment and booked it, and so there was no confusion. It was crazy. It was a telemarketer lead. And I had a hard time understanding him. I understood enough he had COPD. And he was at the age where the only option... I wasn't going to do Liberty Bankers Life or Foresters because they require a phone interview. There's no way this guy could be understood over the phone. So I opted for Transamerica. And so what had happened was, Transamerica's app is... Jesus. It's huge, okay? Even the e-app is a pain. And I got done with the e-app, but the e-app doesn't have an instant decision. I know how people in this business think from clients' perspective. I got to close them today if I'm going to get anything. It was like a $105 deal, right? So at that point, at the point of sale, I sold a step back, a plan B. What did I sell? I sold, I think it was a Great Western policy. So I said, Mr. Jones, we're going to try to get you approved here. Here's the price, here's the coverage. If we don't, we'll come back and we'll write you we'll just go ahead and put in Great Western. It's a little bit more. There's no first day full coverage, unfortunately, but that may be because of the COPD. But at least you got something. Your client's going to be more inclined to buy that idea of a plan B at the time of sale than when you come back and you got to say, well, I guess you can't. You can't be approved for it. So this is what happened with the client. The client forgot he took Aricept or had a prescription for it. Aricept is a dementia med. Or beginning, it can be preventative too, but either way, it's blacklisted. It's immediate decline with most companies. So I'm glad I took that because I probably would have never gotten back in. Okay. It is a miracle you're in front of somebody who wants to see a salesperson and is willing to buy. Okay. Don't let the opportunity escape you. Hey guys, are you looking around for a final expense opportunity and all of them seem kind of scammy or wishy-washy? Do you feel like you don't want to go to Kool-Aid drinking rah-rah events or waste your time in endless morning conference calls and you just want to go out and sell and produce and not have to recruit the whole world who has a pulse? If that's you, then I want you to go to my website to learn more about how my program works to help those of you agents out there, new or experienced, become top producers, not recruiters, producers selling final expense, and how I've helped tons of agents do exactly what you're looking for. I help agents across the country sell final expense. It has been a focal point of my career for many years, and I am dedicated now at this point in my life to those agents out there who believe mastery of final expense is important and want to work with someone who has the street cred and experience selling final expense. So here's how you learn more about how my program works. Go to davidduford.com, click the button at the top that says Join Dave's Agency, and there you'll see all sorts of content that will describe to you how my final expense program works and give you the opportunity to figure out if what I do makes sense for you. So check that out, davidduford.com. Go to the button that says Join Dave's Agency to learn more. Thanks for watching. See ya.